Before I met Chris, I was really frustrated with the types of clients that my business was attracting. And that's not to say that I was attracting bad clients, but I was attracting clients that weren't good for me. So the fact that I wasn't attracting the clients that I wanted to work with was extremely frustrating, and it was causing a lot of stress for a couple different reasons. First, the stress came in because we simply weren't able to charge the amount that we needed to for the value that we were providing. This made us feel undervalued and honestly kind of underappreciated. The other stress that came along with this was I was beating my head doing these outbound sales efforts, and I still, regardless of how many job proposals I sent out, regardless of how many people I reached out to on social media, we still weren't attracting the clients that we wanted to get. So about 18 months ago, honestly, I had kind of got to the point that I was at a do or die position for my business. I was either gonna have to do something different or take a really hard look at just shutting the doors on the business. I couldn't sustain my life and meet my personal needs with the amount of money that the types of clients that we were attracting were able to pay us. So I was really at an important decision point in my business. Is this something I can keep doing, or do I need to shut it down and rethink everything? So initially when I met Chris at Red Door Designs, I was reluctant to do business with her for a couple of reasons. Number one, I didn't know who in the world Chris was. I just didn't know if I was gonna get enough value for the price that I was paying. And remember, at that time in my business, I was really struggling to get revenue from my clients that was high enough to sustain my personal goals. And so investing in Chris was a big leap for me because I didn't have a ton of money in the business bank account at that point. And so between not really knowing who she was and that price point, I was really, really hesitant to make that leap. I was thinking, this is an investment bigger really than any other investment I'd ever made in my business. If this doesn't go right, this is gonna put you even further in the hole. And so it was really this back and forth between the one voice on this shoulder and the other voice on this shoulder on whether or not this was the right move for me. And again, I was at a very, very challenging point in my business because I wasn't making a lot of money, both from a revenue perspective or a profit perspective, because of the clients I had been working with for the last couple of years. So this was a really important decision for me, and this was something that was back and forth in my head for a couple of days before I finally pulled the trigger. So after I started working with Chris, it was pretty soon thereafter that I had this kind of huge aha moment. But she sent me this new guide, and I could very, very quickly identify that she had put a lot of thought into this. And as she explained to me the reasons that she came up with and some of the psychology behind those things, I knew right away that we had a home run and that this was going to change the game for my business. Another big factor in that aha moment was looking at the quality of work that she provided. Now, previously I had worked with some copywriting people and some, the typical online creators, and there was just a notable difference in the thought process and the quality that went into coming up with those branding assets. And this was, like I said, it's a different price point, but the level of quality and the level of psychology and the amount of effort put into those branding assets was unparalleled, not even close to anybody I'd worked with before through Upwork and Fiverr and some of those other websites. Red Door is the partner on my team that helps me communicate my brand, my value, my services, my offerings to the world. She's the translator. I know in my head what it is we do and how amazing we are, but Red Door is that partner that helps me communicate that in a way that other people can see and immediately know if we're the right fit to work for them. In my experience, Red Door Designs is absolutely perfect for that business owner that's struggling to reach their target market. They're struggling to command the price point that they know that they deserve. So really it's anybody that feels like they've hit that glass ceiling with raising their prices or commanding the value that they know that they provide, and they feel like it might be that a communications problem. They're just not saying the words right or using the right images to communicate that to the broader market. I think Red Door Designs is absolutely perfect for them. Now, I will say this. Red Door Designs is not for that brand that maybe is just starting up or is super budget conscious. This is next level, right? And you're gonna pay more, but you're gonna get 10x on that investment, no doubt. With the assets that Chris has put together, it's really given me kind of level of swag when I go and do business development, when I go and do sales. I know that my brand represents the value that my team and I provide. And so it gives me this level of confidence to move forward in the sales process in a way that I never had before. Since working with Chris and Red Door Designs, the assets have given me as a business owner a different level of confidence and honestly kind of some swag in my step. When I go out and I share my website with people or I go into a sales pitch, it really has leveled up my level of confidence. And in addition to that, it's communicated our value in ways that I never could have done on my own. So what does that mean? That means I'm literally today charging 6 times more for the exact same product and service that I was delivering before I met Chris. Nothing about the quality of our work or our process has changed. The only thing that changed was our assets that are so important from a branding perspective. And because of that, I'm attracting a very different caliber of client now, and it's that caliber of client that we always dreamt of working with. So how is life different since working with Red Door Designs? It's been a game changer. I'm not going around and having to I kind of feel like I'm not looking for the leftovers anymore. We're able to go for the big boys that are in our ideal market. If the me prior to working with Chris could see the me after working with Chris, he would say, damn boy, you're in the big leagues now. Awesome job. Listen, if you find yourself having those same kind of conversations inside your head that I was having, conversations like, I'm really not loving the types of clients that I'm getting, I'm not happy with the revenue that I'm bringing in from the clients that I'm working with, the market is really undervaluing the service or the product that I provide. If you find yourself saying those things, but you also find yourself saying, I know that I've got a world-class product, or I know that I'm the best at what I do, then I highly, highly suggest that you take a look at the story that your branding is telling. Because for me, that was the gap that was kind of existing between where I was and where I wanted to be. So if you find yourself saying those kinds of things, Chris is the partner that you need to help get you from where you are to where you want to be. Look, if you're not working with your ideal client, if you're not working with people and businesses that fill you up and energize you, it has a drastic impact on your business and your personal life. I'll tell you, when I was working with the wrong clients for me, again, not bad people, they just weren't the right clients for me, I was stressed, I was working crazy hours, I was full of resentment because I felt like I was underpaid for the work that my team and I were doing. But literally, and I'm not over exaggerating this, when Chris walked us through that process and got me, where we needed to be from a branding perspective, all of those problems pretty much evaporated overnight. When we started getting better clients, when we started getting compensated for the value that we were creating for our clients, what I found is, and when I was able to charge more for those clients, we had fewer clients, but we were working less hours, and we were feeling more fulfilled for the work that we were doing. And frankly, the clients we were working with loved working with us because they understood what we were able to provide them. So this missing link of just not being able to communicate in a way that was attracting the right clients was a game changer for my personal life and for my business life.